All right, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Before I get started, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles and my elders of Great Millstone who lead, teach, and rule well. Love and honor to my fellow Akim, pushing the word in truth, faith, and sincerity across the four corners. Shalom, peace, and blessings to the sincere listeners and the sincere subscribers of the men and doctrine of Great Millstone. This is the brother Edified GMS Land Church, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. And it's going to be entitled something along the lines of America, the land of hypocrisy. Something along those lines. I don't know. I may turn to like a multi-part series because, this is a subject that can be spoken upon, endlessly. But, yeah, this topic just kind of hit my spirit. And, there's already in just doing a quick little search, little Google search, there's a plethora of topics and articles to kind of go into, in which this one kind of came up, and it's one of the newer ones that I came across, in which I'm not going to go into the depths of it. I'm just going to kind of just, breeze through it and touch on a few key points. So here, this is from the BostonGlobe.com, and it says, American hypocrisy comes back to bite us. It says a new book details a genocide that occurred while the United States looked away, and it is not just a Cold War story. So here you see a picture of, it says, caption, Richard Nixon and Henry Kissinger on September 16, 1972, in which, look at the schnoz on former President Richard Nixon. And they call him, I believe one of his nicknames or monikers was Tricky Dick Nixon, man. You can just look at that guy and, tell he got demons on him. All right, then you got Kissinger beside him. Like I said, I'm going to kind of just, read through key points, just kind of go into this subject matter, go into the hypocrisy of America. And even it kind of ties into today, certain aspects, too, of certain geopolitical relations today. Let's pick up from the top. It says, Agha Muhammad Yahya Khan was proud of himself. It was March 26, 1971, and the Pakistani president's troops had quickly put down what he called a violent Bengali insurrection in East Pakistan, which is today Bangladesh, okay? U.S. President Richard Nixon and National Security Advisor Henry Kissinger marveled at the operation's efficiency. The use of power against seeming odds paid off, Kissinger said. Yet while Yahya told the world that he had targeted terrorists, his government had in fact carried out a mass slaughter, killing some 50,000 Bengali civilians after a Bengali Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was elected to be Prime Minister of Pakistan. Not only the largely Bengali East Pakistan, but also West Pakistan, which was mostly Punjabi. Yahya, a Punjabi, was furious, so he unleashed a further wave of violence to secure Punjabi control. So here you have a mass slaughter, okay, in East Pakistan, like I said, which is today called Bangladesh, okay, in which, this may have been an instance in which, it may have been kind of an agreement, between what it said, the sheiks, okay, and the Punjabi, to where, in this particular time in the 70s, it may have very well been an instance in which those people were trying to, really unify, I'm just, touching on it, I haven't done necessarily in-depth research on it, but I'm just, just pulling the meat from the bones and going to show how, America loves to praise and upload itself as the land of the free, home of the brave. Okay, but time and time again, it shows throughout American and world history that America is actually a big social and political deviant, man. All right. Okay, continuing on, it says from March to May, Yahya's men killed somewhere between several 100,000 and 3 million civilians in a war that ultimately failed, leaving Pakistan forever split and paving the way for an independent Bangladesh. And they did it all with American weapons, you see. So not only did was already said and stated that they killed 50,000 Bengali civilians, but later the number increased to several hundred thousand and 3 million civilians. You see what I'm saying? Just civilians, just a mass slaughter, a mass genocide. Okay, and as the article says here from the Boston Globe, that they did it all with American weapons, man. So even if America, these American Edomites and their allies and counterparts, even if they don't actually, pull the trigger themselves, they're behind a lot of slaughter and killings, and destruction throughout the entire world, man. This is just yet another example of that. All right. This is the history that journalist Scott Carney and conflict researcher Jason McLeon tell in their tremendous new book, The Vortex, a true story of history's deadliest storm, an unspeakable war and liberation. Drawn on hundreds of interviews and years of research, their book details how his war grew out of instability caused by the Great Bala cyclone, which itself killed 500,000 people in East Pakistan right before the election. Yet, as much as The Vortex is about natural disasters and climate change, it is also about U.S. foreign policy, about how Washington's expedient decisions can leave indelible marks on history thousands of miles away, even in places where few Americans are present. It is an ugly reminder, too, of America's willingness to support despots like Yahya throughout the Cold War, and a warning to choose our partners carefully. Today, Americans may not bear the brunt of such authoritarianism ourselves, but somehow always will, and they will remember if Washington supported their oppressors. You see? So this is actually a heavy point and a heavy article as I, reread it, because the Spirit had me stake in opening up this lesson. The wounds, and scars of the deeds of America and America's military and their military reach through their allies that has occurred throughout the war, they still run and cut deep, man. Now a lot of our people, particularly the you can't even necessarily say that, but a good number of our people, particularly the indigenous tribes, have been kind of spiritually neutered, and have a certain level of comfort in this world or in this country and society by the goodies that were given to us by our oppressors, and maintaining of a certain level of comfort in our lifestyle. But really, when you go to these foreign countries, man, like, they have a deep hatred for America, man. Because of all the wicked deeds that mainly the military, but even as more understanding comes out, not only the military, but these economic traps and snares that have been set throughout the four corners, man, this plays a major part in the hatred that these nations have towards America, man. I don't know what that is. Let me see. Like I said, I'm not going to read all the article. I'm kind of jump and skip through. Let me see. Jumping down here a little bit in the article, it says, when public pressure finally prompted the White House. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and read the whole article, man. I'm just going to go through it, swiftly. It says, but Yahya's violence in East Pakistan threatened to render Washington's support untenable and compromise Nixon's China efforts. See, now it goes into China, in which, even going to this article, it kind of sheds light too, not heavily, but shines light on the alliance of the BRICS nations, being Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, because a part of the reason why the Nixon administration did what they did in this area of Pakistan and now Bangladesh was because they wanted a certain relationship with China. It says, so when U.S. diplomats sent reports documenting Yahya's crimes and calling on Washington to act, Nixon ignored them. See, Nixon ignored these acts of Yahya, in which this is supposed to be a what? This is supposed to be an extension of so-called democracy. Okay, because this other individual had won the election, But Yaha, because he won't down with that, just went to start killing folks, man. And when Nixon and the Nixon administration got word of this act, in which this would be a direct opposition of democracy, in which America claims to be what? Stand on democratic values. They ignored it, and then as is explained in the article, they actually gave arms. Nixon ignored them and fired the U.S. Consul General in Dhaka, East Pakistan. So not only did they ignore the reports, he fired the people who were supposed to give the accurate reports of this, man. When public pressure finally prompted the White House to proclaim an embargo on arms shipments to Pakistan, Nixon continued to secretly send Yaha weapons nonetheless. So even when the public caught wind of this act, Nixon, he just moved the trade routes to still give this murderer weapons in a different route, man. Once again, going into the hypocrisy of America. And much worse, when India and the Soviet Union moved to support the Bengalis, Nixon sent a nuclear-armed ship to the Bay of Bengal, bringing the world to the brink of nuclear war. You see, it's so clear and evident now, of why so many countries are against America, man. So not only did the uproar of the people come to Nixon's front door, okay, to be like, yo, this is wrong. This is against American democratic values. So he rerouted the trade routes to still give the arms to this murderer. Okay, and then when the Soviet Union, to present day now is Russia, and India were supporting, the people who were getting slaughtered, the civilians who were getting slaughtered, Nixon sends nuclear armed ships, okay, in that area, in that region, and the threat of nuclear war. You see, but all this at the same time, America supposedly so-called stands on democracy and democratic values, man. All right, it says, let's remember, the Pakistanis have been our friends in these late few days, Nixon told Kissinger in a handwritten note penned nearly a month into Yaha's military campaign. Nixon told White House staffers to all hands, don't squeeze Yaha at this time. When Zulfikar Ali Bhutto eventually ousted Yaha, Nixon coaxed Bhutto not to hang Yaha for treason. Esau, man, is a devil, man. He's a devil. All right. Nixon's approach to Pakistan, troubling as we may found it, was par for Washington's Cold War course. Indeed, during this era of competition with the Soviet Union, the United States supported a swath of autocrats from Indonesia to Chile. Again and again, America overlooked leaders' lack of liberalism at home as long as they supported America abroad. Hypocrisy. And while these relationships sometimes produce strategic gains like Nixon's normalization of ties with China, it's impossible to look at Bengali in the face or even read Carney and McLeon's book and say that Nixon's trade-off was worth the brutal bloodshed in East Pakistan. For Edom Esau was worth it. As the United States looks to compete with China and Russia today, we, America, would do well to remember the human cost of America's past authoritarian alliances. Supporting leaders like Yaha undermined America's appeal, prompting people to call out Washington's hypocrisy as justification for closer ties with the Soviet Union. People everywhere have long memories. They remember their past leaders' brutality, and they will remember who provided those despots with cover. In fact, U.S. support for Yaha and Nixon's nuclear gambit was hugely unpopular in India. Okay, so this explains a certain level of disdain that certain Indians have towards America because they threaten nuclear war, man. All right. This fueled distrust of the United States that lingers today. Indeed, the current Indian government is staffed at all levels by people who remember these and other American errors, making them less willing to back Washington's Russia sanctions today, you see, even going into the sanctions. Like I said, It's kind of a, dense article, I wasn't planning on kind of getting into it, but, sometimes with these historical facts and accounts, man, we kind of got to get all the meat off the bone, man. Because even like I said, as I was rereading it and doing the lesson, it made more sense in why and how certain aspects of the BRICS nations became to be. Because, really in the same way that you have U.S. and NATO allies fighting and funding the war in Ukraine, in a sense, America did the same thing going into Pakistan and Bangladesh, okay, in which when the major and up-and-coming players in that portion of the world, being, in this particular case, being India and the Soviet Union, today in Russia, stand up because they're like, yo, this guy just out here just slaughtering people, man. Now here come America with the threat of even more escalated nuclear military escalation, man. And see, we don't know all this stuff because we weren't taught all this in school. But these people and these foreigners and these other countries, man, they remember these things, man. And as America continues to move in that same form, in that same fashion, in the spirit of hypocrisy, it just par for the course for them, for America, man. They know it, Finishing out. It says, of course, the United States cannot ignore all non-democracies for the simple reason that there are more of them than there are democracies. But the vortex should remind us of the need to stay vigilant with our partners, no matter the strategic benefits they may offer. And see, whatever, man, in the sense that America's laid this bed, now they got to lay in it. Ain't no bunch of, this is America, this is America's doing, these are Edom, Esau's doing. They gotta answer for this, man. So real quick, I have the etymology of the word hypocrite. It says, circa 1200, it says, false pretender to virtue or religion, in which, that's damn near all I need to say right there. It says stage actor, pretender, dissembler. He's a fake, man. He's a phony. He's a fraud. Because in the sense of true American, like I said, true American democratic values, they fight on the wrong side of who they supposedly should and, proclaim to stand for, man. All right. Get a few scriptures and close it out. This is Job 20. I'm starting at verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? You see, so yeah, we know the spirit, power, and understanding given to us by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. We know that the joy of the hypocrite is short, man. Okay, the main and biggest hypocrite, even going back to the root of the word, it says a false pretender to virtue or religion. Esau is a true hypocrite because he pretends to be a person and people of virtue. He pretends to be a person and people of religion or a certain level of spiritual righteousness. Even to this day, standing upon the virtues and the confines of the Bible, man. But time and time again, through his acts and his deeds, and really a big way to track Edom Esau, man, where he putting his money. Because here it is, he was funding, I believe his name was, I don't want to mispronounce his name, but I know it was Yahya. He was funding and promoting this guy with his money and with his arms. You see what I'm saying? And all the BS that he says and stands for, man, be BS, man. And yeah, he has a technology, even going into the lower heavens, and even the satellites and all these high level technologies, in which even, just one extension of his technology and technological force was how it said that even President Nixon has sent a nuclear powered ship over there, man. At the threat of nuclear escalation. As the scripture say, he's gonna perish as dung, as excrement. To the point we're gonna be like, where is he? Where is this guy, man? Where is Edom Esau? It's almost like a fable, like a story, like where Edom Esau is completely done away. Like, where is this guy? Where is he? Because he's going to be gone, man. You know? Continuing on, Job 20:8. He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yeah, he should be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more. Neither shall he place any more neither shall his place any more behold him. He's gonna be gone, man. You know, pursuant to Obadiah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. Pursuant to Obadiah, the 18th verse. Edom Esau gonna be out of here, man. You know? This is matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 15. I'm gonna wrap. I'm gonna close up. This is Obadiah verse 15. For the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. You see, upon these heathens, and the ultimate hypocrite, blasphemer, false pretender of virtue and religion being Edom Esau. You know, here it is. You know, Edom Esau is the master of, you know, throwing a rock high in the hand, man. You know, and that's wicked, bro. Like, you know, the scriptures speak about, even Yahweh Shai said, you know, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay, because anything else, roughly paraphrasing, is of Satan, of the devil, man, deceiver, you know, and wickedness, you know, because if you're going to say one thing and proclaim that you believe and stand upon one thing, even like in this particular case being true democracy, stand on it, man. You know, don't say one thing and your actions, you know, dictate something completely different. That's wicked, you know. Verse 16, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink. So shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. You know, going into how the holy mountain of the Heavenly Father being Israel, you know, being His chosen people, you know, and these heathen, you know, and along with Edom Esau have drank and prospered off of our backs and our labor and our blessings, you know, for a very long time, you know, but that time is coming to an end. All right. Verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. You know, going to the deliverance and salvation of Israel, okay, by way of our Heavenly Father allowing the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, okay, in the governing body, you know. Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai have spoken it. I'm gonna end it off there, man, because even going into Job, the 20th chapter, speaking on, you know, speaking of like Edom Esau, like being like a dream, like where is this guy? Like, you know, where is he? Like, who is he? Like, because after Edom Esau serves his period of captivity, okay, in the following the institution of the kingdom of the nation of Israel, they're gonna be done away with, man, burnt to a crisp, a perfect crisp. You know, it's gonna be a beautiful sight, man. You know, and we look forward to that, man. You know, and we look forward to it, and our people should look forward to it as well, because one, you ain't gonna be able to stop it, and two, man, who's been more oppressed and taken advantage of than our people, especially here in America? You know, to where even these heathens, you know, throughout the earth and throughout the world, they have a continual disdain for Edom Esau because of all the things that they've done around the world. You know, but we're directly oppressed even to this day from these Edomites, man. You know, and by these Americans, the Babylonians. All right, so I'm ending lesson off here. Lord, willing to be edified. Once again, before I close out, I'll give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who lead, teach, and rule well. Love and honor to my fellow I can push the word in true faith and sincerity across the four corners. Shalom, peace and blessings to the sincere listeners and the sincere subscribers of the Men and Doctrine of Great Millstone. Lord, willing to be edified. Until next time, Shalom.